Austin city leaders taking on a balancing act to usher in a greener future for the capital city without putting more strain on your wallet.
Daily rain chances return to Central Texas beginning tomorrow. We'll show you how much all this adds up to in First Warning Weather. But first, Austin ISD is close to completing the list of demands the Texas Education Agency says it needed to make to ensure it's meeting the needs of special education students.
And that includes clearing its backlog of overdue evaluations for students suspected of needing special education services. Investigative reporter Kelly Wiley has been following this story for quite a while now and is joining us now in the studio with an update.
Yeah, at one point, Austin ISD had thousands of students overdue for an evaluation. And these are kids who have not just been waiting, but they were waiting longer than the state or federal government says they should be. According to the district, it caught up with that backlog back in February of this year. But it still hasn't addressed all the issues district officials said got them into this mess. That includes a lack of a robust data system tracking the requests for evaluations. We interviewed the head of the district's SPED department about what it looked like before she came on, and the district started the process of improving that system back last year. Here's what she said.
It sounds like what you're saying is prior to Operation 1A, there wasn't even one place for a teacher to put in a referral for a student who needed an evaluation. Is that correct?
It was very unclear to folks what the single entry point was, yes, and so people were using any and all methods to be able to do that.
And Superintendent Matias Segura said they've created a better tracking system for evaluations and evaluation requests. They have that under control now. But he says now they're working on a new system to make it easier on the back end. That's when teachers are in the classroom and they need to get access to these individualized education plans and accommodations for students in their classroom. Here's him explaining what that would look like.
What it allows us to do now is, it's not only tracking the evaluation timeline, but it's also whenever an ARD is locked and IEP gets developed, the accommodations that are in the IEP are accessible to every single educator that's supporting that teacher. Supporting that student. When you're in high school and you have 6 different teachers, you may have a different accommodation for taking a test, perhaps like in art, versus if you're in geography or in a science class.
Superintendent Segura said he himself will be overseeing this project, and he hopes it will be in use by next school year, specifically September 2025.
All right, Kelly Wiley, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And going in depth on this, special education in Texas schools has been under a microscope for years. A 2018 investigation found the state violated federal law by denying students with disabilities the tools and services they needed to succeed in class. 2 years later, the federal government also found the TEA was not doing enough to serve all students in special education.
First Warning Weather with Chief Meteorologist Nick Bannon.
If you're not near the TV, come on over. Look at this sky in Marble Falls from the Highland Furniture and River City Grill camera there. Just gorgeous. We're still about 29 minutes from sunset, but as it's going down, the increase in cloudiness is giving us a great looking sky in some areas. Temperatures outside are warmer than this time yesterday after a sub-freezing start for many of us. Low 60s, mid 60s now. Most areas 1 to 3 degrees warmer than 24 hours ago. But yes, we are seeing the clouds taking over, and this trend is going to continue into the night tonight. So going from a partly to mostly cloudy sky, 7 o'clock 60, 58 at 9, 57 at 11. But staying dry here this evening. However, not for long. First of all, we'll talk about the warmer nights and days to come, starting with tonight. Daily rain chances that begin tomorrow, how much it all adds up to, and when the highest rain coverage looks to be.
All right, Nick, thank you so much. Today, a judge threw out an effort to remove Travis County District Attorney Jose Garza. A petition filed in April argued Garza singled out law enforcement officials by automatically presenting charges against them to grand juries. It also claims Garza refuses to prosecute a certain class or type of criminal offense. A judge dismissed the petition today, but some victims and their families have deeper grievances, saying he is too soft on the perpetrators who have changed their lives.
We have nothing to gain from this. There's no agenda here. We're just sick and tired of people not being prosecuted for the crimes that they commit.
And Judge Dib Waldrop granted Bell County Attorney James Nichols his initial motion to dismiss the case, citing the fact that voters re-elected Garza in the 2024 election. Keeping the lights on in Austin and your bills down. This is something Austin City Council members debated today during their final meeting of the year.
And it all relates to a plan with a very long title, the Austin Energy Resource Generation and Climate Protection Plan to 2035. KXAN's Grace Reeder joins us live with what city leaders are discussing. Grace.
Well, Daniel, I'm glad you said it. I'm going to shorten it to the generation plan, and that actually was just approved unanimously by Austin City Council. But it took a long time to get here, a little under 2 years. And you may remember that it got kicked back to Austin Energy previously because city council members and the mayor were unsatisfied with it. Specifically, Mayor Kirk Watson wanted the city to commit to removing itself from our portion of the Fayette power plant. Austin Energy said in a meeting earlier this week that the Fayette power plant is a, quote, insurance policy during times of high demand, and that frankly means saving you money. During the 2021 winter storm, that power plant alone saved customers roughly $500 million, the utility said, but it's also Austin's largest producer of greenhouse gas emissions. So a lot of the discussion here has been, how does our city balance getting out of the plant, which the mayor and council have said they are dedicated to doing, while also keeping our lights on and costs low. The mayor thinks the plan before them today gets there this time around, but some Austinites want a more clear answer on when they're going to do that.
And I also wish that they were more focused on establishing metrics that would help them come to a decision on retiring the Fayette coal plant. That is their largest source of emissions. You're going to hear, the mayor probably continue talking about Fayette, but frankly, talk is cheap. We need to get it done.
Meanwhile, Austin Energy's overall message to City Council today was this: the plan laid out here is just that. It's a plan. It's not set in stone. They said Austin will continue to be a, quote, leader in a carbon-free future, and noted that the community really helped them come up with this plan. Austin Energy's chief operating officer told me last week that 7,500 community members took a survey which helped them come up with this plan. They also worked with dozens of businesses and groups and folks who are invested in this. Those folks represent thousands more Austinites who also helped contribute to this plan. Guys.
I want to thank the Bernard family for their courage to speak up and to talk about their experience, which is why, in part, I brought this forward to prevent further tragedy.
10 months after a deadly hospital crash, the Austin City Council passed a major safety measure following our ongoing investigations. Tonight on KXAN News at 6 o'clock, we'll tell you when you could see changes at new hospitals in Austin and why this move is inspiring other potential policies across Texas. An uptick in coyote sightings has Cedar Park police working to treat those sick with mange while also educating the public on avoiding confrontations with wild animals. While these sightings are somewhat common, the city's animal control department has seen a slight increase of sick coyotes in the past few months. To protect yourself from contact with wild animals, police say it's critical to remove any food sources like cat food from your yard so as not to attract them. If you see a coyote near your property, banging pots and pans is a pretty effective way to scare it away. And if you have pets, be sure to keep them inside or securely confined in a kennel or covered yard. If you would like to learn more, KXAN digital reporter Kelsey Thompson has more details on how we can avoid conflict with wild animals over at KXAN.com.
We're getting a better idea of what General Motors plans to do now that it's winding down its Cruise robo-taxi operations. Earlier this week, we told you GM will no longer fund its driverless rideshare development. This after the company navigated years of operational hiccups and legal action. The company says it now plans to focus on developing autonomous personal vehicles. GM paused its Cruise operations just over a year ago. It had a tumultuous time here in Austin, you'll remember. Still, other driverless rideshare companies are expanding their footprint in Austin. Waymo will dispatch a new fleet of fully autonomous vehicles early next year.
This morning was our coldest morning of the season in Austin. We got down to 34. Still not freezing yet at Camp Mabry, but we bounced up to 66, making it an above average high temperature day, technically. We've got more warmth ahead, but more rain too. We'll track your daily rain chances and how much it adds up to in First Warning Weather.
U.S. senators are worried that outdated air traffic technology could compromise the safety of flying.
And today, lawmakers question experts about the current state of the Federal Aviation Administration's technology and discuss some potential solutions. Hannah Brandt explains how their ideas could impact travelers.
A series of scary close calls in the sky and on runways have lawmakers saying it's time for a closer look at air travel infrastructure.
Mayor 4281.
Congress needs to address this issue. We need modern, sustainable air traffic control systems to keep the flying public safe.
Senator Tammy Duckworth says air traffic control equipment and technology desperately need updating.
In a recent report, the Government Accountability Office found that more than 1/3 of the country's air traffic control systems are outdated.
It is safe to fly, but this is stressing the system, and the longer we wait, the worse it will get.
Kevin Walsh with the Government Accountability Office testified he is worried about the aging infrastructure. And Dean Iacopelli with the National Air Traffic Controller Association says the fix will require more money from Congress.
The FAA projects that it will need $6 billion annually for its facilities and equipment account, which is a significant increase compared to recent years.
Senator Ted Cruz says the Federal Aviation Administration needs to use its funding more wisely.
The status quo of how the FAA modernizes our ATC is unacceptable.
Walsh emphasized that the leaders implementing solutions will be just as important as the budget.
Throwing money at the problem won't fix it. You need adequate oversight. You need the right people in the right place. You need training.
And he warned lawmakers a full refresh of the system will take time.
This is not a quick fix. There is no silver bullet. This is going to be the work of years and billions of dollars and thousands of people.
The current administrator of the Federal Aviation Administration plans to resign when President-elect Trump takes office. In Washington, I'm Hannah Brandt.
And going in depth right now, the Austin airport has seen a lot of turbulence in recent years when it comes to air traffic control. Just Monday, the Austin airport issued a ground delay as the FAA confirmed flights into Austin were slowed down due to low staffing. The same issue plagued the airport a little more than a month ago. An FAA spokesperson noted that nationally, the agency hired more than 1,800 air traffic controllers this year, hitting its targeted goal. The FAA expects to hire more than 2,000 additional air traffic controllers in 2025.
Let's get to the weather now as we warm up a little bit and maybe some rain chances.
Yeah, rain chances start to tick back up here tomorrow. Now, not every day that has rain chances is going to bring you rain at your house or your house or your house, but we've at least got the opportunity for showers every single day of the next 7. First, want to update you on the pollen count. Those cedar and mold are low and trending lower from where they were earlier this morning. So some good news there. Temperatures have been trending slightly higher. Despite the cloudiness, a warming wind out of the south has allowed today to be a warmer day. And that warming wind plus the cloud cover overnight is going to keep our overnight lows warmer. We had some spots, many spots, in fact, below freezing here this morning. Not the case tonight. We dropped down into the 50s. Our coolest spots may just about reach the upper 40s. So no freezes anywhere here tonight. And then we're into the upper 60s to almost 70 tomorrow afternoon, which should be several degrees above normal for this time of year. First, I want to show you the temperature trend over the next week because we've got a couple of cold fronts, and out ahead of those fronts, we're going to see the rain chances growing. That first front comes in late Monday, early Tuesday, brings decent rain coverage ahead of the front, and also some fairly warm days in the 70s here this weekend and Monday. Then a next front comes in late Wednesday, brings us rain on Wednesday, and then a much cooler day on Thursday. So let's talk about, first of all, the increase in humidity that you're going to feel before that first front, because coming Friday, Saturday, Sunday, through most of Monday until that first front comes in, the air is going to feel muggy, if not a little humid. We haven't had a lot of humidity in a while. Now we'll talk about the clouds and eventually the rain. Clouds thickening up first, already seeing some moisture out west, and we are going to see slowly increasing rain chances here as we get into your Friday. Not expecting a lot of rain here tomorrow, but some drizzle and patches of fog in the morning, and a few sprinkles or a stray shower here and there. Here's midday. Notice not much, but a little bit. And then into the afternoon, a couple of spotty showers as well, and a couple more as we get into your Friday night. So many of you stay dry aside from the morning drizzle. But as far as rain, actual rain goes, most of us do not get much of that here tomorrow. Getting into your Saturday, a higher rain chance, even early on. Scattered showers, mostly light. as well as some drizzle here Saturday morning through the middle of the day. And we're going to try getting some sun Saturday afternoon, but there may still be some stray showers or even a thunderstorm around during the second half of the day, with limited rain chances at night. Sunday starts gray and dry, but we've got just a low chance for a shower later in the day. So here's your forecast tonight. Becoming cloudy, drizzle late, overnight lows in the mid-50s. And then here's your forecast for the next 3 days. 69 tomorrow, 20% rain chance, 40% chance of wet weather Saturday, and then more sun on Sunday should push us to 78, almost 80. Then the rain coverage goes down Sunday after being a little higher on Saturday, but the highest rain chances coming on Monday ahead of that first front, then another bump in rain chances here on Wednesday. What does it all add up to? Well, I've bumped up rain chances a little bit. 1/4 inch to an inch for most of us, 1 to 2 inches northeast of Austin, and some slightly higher amounts, but still on the low end, 1/4 inch or less for most of the hill country. But at least we've been trending wetter over the last couple of days. Here's a look at our first warning weather 7-day forecast. Daily rain chances, certainly warmer days and nights, 40s and 50s and 60s at night. Mostly 70s and 60s during the day until that second cold front knocks us into the 50s by next Thursday. We'll be right back.
News Nation tonight. Brand new lawsuits in the Diddy sexual assault case. The lawyer for the 3 accusers joins Chris live in studio tonight on Cuomo. Then on Banfield. You call in a tip, you get the reward, right? Not so much for the McDonald's employee who led police to the accused CEO killer. The $60,000 reward comes with some strings attached. Banfield tonight on News Nation.
With just weeks to go before his second inauguration, President-elect Donald Trump today celebrated being named Time's Person of the Year for a second time.
And as NBC's Alice Barr reports, this comes as President Joe Biden makes history through the use of his pardon power.
President-elect Trump ringing the bell at the New York Stock Exchange, marking the start of the trading day and a personal milestone, being named Time Magazine's Person of the Year for the second time.
I think I like it better this time, actually.
The honor's a measure of the businessman turned politician's comeback election victory that he largely credits to winning on the economy.
We're going to do things, I think, that haven't been really done before. We're going to be cutting taxes still further.
Though in his Time Magazine interview, the president-elect appeared to shift the goalposts on a promise to lower grocery prices, noting it's hard to bring things down once they're up. At the same time, he's pressing ahead with plans for steep tariffs on key trading partners that economists broadly agree could push prices up.
We want fairness from other countries. We have not been treated fairly.
President-elect Trump also telling Time one of his first acts in office will be to pardon most of the rioters accused or convicted of storming the Capitol on January 6th. That on the same day, President Biden set a new record with his pardon power, pardoning 39 nonviolent offenders, many convicted of drug offenses, and commuting the sentences of 1,500 people, including those placed on home confinement during COVID.
For far too long, our criminal justice system has closed doors of opportunity.
The largest single-day grant of clemency in modern history comes after President Biden faced bipartisan criticism for offering a sweeping pardon to his son Hunter. The president making end-of-term moves as his successor prepares to return to the White House. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
All right, well, coming up tonight on KXAN at 7 o'clock, it's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And then at 8:15, E! News presents NBC's Hot 10 of 2024, a countdown of the year's most memorable pop culture moments. That's followed by SVU at 9, and then we'll see you back here for KXAN News at 10.